With a 21-gun salute on Parliament Hill next week, Canada will celebrate King Charles's coronation. The federal government has even released this official Canadian coronation emblem to underline the historic nature of the big day. All this despite most Canadians seemingly now opposed to honoring Britain's monarch as Canada's king.
Maybe it should go to somebody who has actually made a difference in Canada.
It's about time we rethink some of the assumptions we made earlier on, because this is 2023.
An Angus Reid Institute poll suggests 60% of Canadians don't support recognizing Charles as king by swearing oaths to him, putting his face on currency, and recognizing Charles as head of state.
The royal family represents an institution that Canadians just don't really have much of a connection to, one that they view as something rather outdated.
Advocates for a Canadian republic are now formally calling for a referendum to cut direct ties with the monarchy. They point to Germany's president as an example of an elected head of state who is separate from the head of government.
Canadians have gradually been coming around to the idea that it's an indignity to Canada to have a head of state who lives on another continent, in a castle, who isn't Canadian.
But unlike Barbados, which dumped the British monarch without a formal vote, constitutional experts here insist Canada would need the approval of MPs, senators, and all provinces.
It's the strongest amending formula that has to be used, which is pretty daunting.
Plus, the federal government has reiterated any potential change to the relationship with the monarchy is not a priority. Instead, Ottawa is planning music and a special postage stamp to mark next week's coronation. Thomas Dagler, CBC News, Toronto.